Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, today we've got this menu hover effect for you. We've got a regular Divi menu up there. When we hover over it, it's going to change colour and the background's going to fade in from the left there. Nice little animated menu effect. Really easy to do. We've got to do a bit of coding for this today, but don't let that put you off. Any code I write I'll put down below the video, and you're welcome to copy it and paste it, use it how you wish. Okay, well, let's get started. I'm going to close this one up and we'll start with our regular Divi menu right here. What I'm going to do is go to my customizer. For anybody that doesn't know how to get there, simply go down to your dashboard, down to appearance and customize. That'll bring you to this page here. Down the bottom we've got an additional CSS panel. You could also do it down in Divi and under the general tab, but you wouldn't have this viewing pane on the right. So I'm going to use this so we can see what we're doing. Okay, we're going to use a little left hand panel here. I'm going to drop down. Always a good idea to give your custom code a title, especially if you write a lot of it like I do. And for a title we'll do // // Anything written in between the stars will not be read as code. Okay, if we inspect these, I'm using Google Chrome here with the great inspector tools. Most browsers have this nowadays, but if yours doesn't, Chrome is a free download. I'm going to right click on one of these. And it brings up the inspector tools. If you've got elements selected on the left, it'll give you HTML here. And if you've got styles selected on the right, it'll give you CSS styles on that side. So we're looking at top menu. If we look here, we've got top menu, and we're looking at the list item class inside. Now that's an ID, so it has a hashtag in front of it. So let's put that down. So it's hashtag because it's a CSS ID for this one. And it's top menu, top dash menu. And we want to affect the list item, which is our list item. If you see when I'm hovering over it, it's actually highlighting that little item up the top there. So we want to write list item dash li. Now we're going to be using a pseudo element before for this today. So I'm going to go colon and colon again, and then the word before, and no gaps. So there's no gaps after the I of list item, colon, colon, and then no gaps before the last colon and before. Now we can open and close some curly brackets and decide what it is we actually want to put in there, because we're actually adding an element before our list items here that we can actually customize. Anything we put there has got to stay there, so the position has to be absolute, so it's position, colon, absolute, semicolon. Now we've got to decide what we want to put there. Well, it's going to be some content of some sort. So I'm going to say content, colon, and let's just put 2 inverted commas there to let it know we're putting something in there. And the something that we want to put in there wants to be positioned left and about, try it left 0 and top 0, so it's right on it. So I'm going to say top, let's say top 0, and let's say left 0 also, left colon 0. So it's going to be position top and left of our little list item there. Okay, want to give whatever it is a height so we can see it. So we'll give it a height. I think I used 25 pixels before. We'll try that. We can always adjust it afterwards. So 25 pixels. And again, semicolon. Now we want to choose a background color that we want to use. So I'm going to say background. Let's get this blue that I've got right here. Or at the top there, that'll do fine. I've got a little Chrome color picker up here. I hover over this blue. That's close enough. I'm going to copy that. And we'll put it in here. Hashtag because it's a hex code. There's the hex code. Let's put a semicolon after it. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's create a hover state for this now. So I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to go down just below and paste it in down below. Let's move that down so you don't get confused with that one right there. And to create the hover state, after the list item, just after the I there, I'm going to put another colon and the word hover. That way we created a hover state. Let's open and close some curly brackets here. And we want to give it a width that's the full width of whatever we're trying to go over there. So width 100%. And as you can see, that's popped in there. We've now got that color popping in. We want to make sure it starts from the left, so we're going to say left 0. Make sure it's fully visible, so we're going to say opacity 1. Opacity goes from 0 to 1, and you can increment up in different transparencies, 0.1, 0.2, etc. I want to pull it back a bit, so I'm going to say margin left minus 10%. Negative 10%, or negative 10 pixels should do it. Let's pull it back round about the middle. We really want to take it up a bit, so probably want to take it up by 12 or so pixels. So in the regular state, let's say margin top negative, say 12 pixels, and see where that takes us. Too much. That's about right, 5 pixels right there. And initially we don't want to have any width on there at all, so it's going to look like it's coming in from the left. So let's add width 0%. And we'll give it a transition duration to slow it down a little bit too. So let's say transition. We can select it from down here. Let's give it about half a second. So it's got colon 0.5 seconds. Now when I hover over, it's going to look like it's appearing from the left there. Okay, the other thing is, looks like we might be able to go up one more pix. So let's try minus 6 pixels. And we also want to make that's better. We also want to make that link turn white, the white bit. So the actual link itself is list item A, or top menu A would do the same thing. So let's copy that top menu. We'll go down. We only want it to be white on hover, so I'm going to say top menu A, the anchor tag. Let's create a hover state, colon, and the word hover, no gaps. Let's open up some curly brackets. And let's put color, colon, white, which is semicolon. There we go. That doesn't look real bright, that white. It looks like it's got a bit of an overlay or a hangover, and we've got to fix that contact at the end there. It's not quite right. Looks like that's dulled down the opacity, so let's make sure the opacity is full by saying opacity 1. See if that's going to do it. We may have to force it with a bit of important. Yeah, let's force it. That's better. That's nice and bright there. And our contact's not quite long enough there. That's probably because we select this last list item here. There it is, top menu, last child, padding right 0. So we want to have the same padding as the rest of it. So let's say 20 pixels. I think that's what the rest of them have got. And we'll have to overwrite that style. That's better. We'll try this, but we may have to use the important on it. So we'll copy that whole thing from the curly bracket to the hashtag there, Control C. And let's just drop down a little bit more here. And don't forget, this code will be down below the video for anybody that needs to check it out or copy it. Let's try that. Let's publish this now. And they're fine. Let's see our last one. Yep, that contact's going all the way for us right there as well. And there we are. You could put a slight rounded corners on it if you wanted to, or even make them pill shaped by up in our regular top menu list item. Border radius. Let's see, let's give it 5 pixels. That'll give it slightly rounded corners there. If you want to do that. You could give it pill shaped ones, but you might have to up the margin on that. So let's change that from 5 pix to 50 pix, and that'll give you pill shaped ones up there. There we go. And of course, if you wanted to, you could put a bit of box shadow on there also. Wonderful thing about CSS, say 5 pix by 10 pix by 15 pix spread, and it should have the default color on there. You've got a little drop shadow on there. We could take that back to 0 and 5, I think. Make it a little more subtle. There we go, that's a little more like it, a little more subtle. But there's the option if you want to put drop shadow in and rounded corners. I'll take that off so we've got what we left there, or take the border radius away, Control X. Now you've got the square one with the box shadow. I'll leave that in there. And we'll save this, and I'll put it down below. And obviously, if you don't want rounded borders, take that one away. If you don't want box shadow, take that one away. And obviously change the colors to anything that suits you. But that should work. Let's publish and visit our site now. Regular page. If I refresh now, we should have our little animation with a bit of box shadow going on there. So there you go, guys. There's how to add a custom animation effect to your Divi menu up there. Really easy to do. Like I say, copy that code down below and paste it. Use it how you wish. Should work right out of the box. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.